Okay, this is going to be a quick video on how to properly um, turn in your finished selfie, your um, flat selfie design. Okay. Um, Actually, let me back something out real quick. Okay. Um, so basically, once you've completed your flat design selfie, we need to turn this in, but I want to make sure it's in a printable uh, format. Okay. Right now, I'm going to demonstrate for you what happens whenever you save this. You may have noticed it yourself. So let's just say what I mean by this is exporting it. So of course, when you turn things into me on Canvas, you're turning things in through export because you're exporting as a JPEG, right? So um, I'm just going to demonstrate for you. I'm just going to send this to my desktop. I'm just going to save it to my desktop, and I'll do this as a, whoops, come on now, select everything. Flat design selfie. Okay. And I'm going to save that, or export it rather. I'm going to export. And now when I go look, this is what the save looked like. You can even see it through the thumbnail, but when I open it, you can see what it did. It cropped up to the very edge, right, of my design. That's not going to be printable. I can't just take your portrait and print it and then it, have margins to it. It would just be cropped to the edge. So I wanted to make it, let's do this in a way that would be printable where it would have a margin around it. All right. So let's do this again. I'm going to trash this. And let's do this again. So go back to Illustrator. Now, the way we're going to have to do this is, first off, we can take all of this, okay? And first of all, what we can do is group it together, okay? That will work too. Now, notice what that did to all my layers that I had over here, right? It compiled them over into one layer, right? Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to Control C, copy, because I'm going to actually create a new artboard. So I'm going to go to New. And what we want to do is we want to go to one of our saved. If you remember, we did a saved, but also you could do this letter. It's 8.5 by 11, and it is like a portrait orientation. And you can see it's a portrait. We can go to our saved. Remember, we did make also a portrait version that was 8.5 by 11, right? And we can go to now create. And now we have this new tab appears, new window. Over here is where selfie's at, and over here is where we're going to bring it over to. So now copy it, Control C, it's all selected. Come over here, I'm going to Control V, okay? So you can kind of see how small it is. It's very small. So we're going to need to increase the size. So make sure you have the selection tool selected. Make sure it's all selected. Now, one thing that's very important is over here. I want to show you something. I just clicked off on that, but let me show you what the problem can be if we try to scale this up right now. Once I start to scale this up, notice what it's done. It's kind of changed my curve right here on my nose. I don't even have a neck anymore. And notice how the hair is starting to encroach on the eyebrows. So my design just got skewed by my doing this, by my kind of, I am holding the shift key. Make sure you hold the shift key whenever you try to scale something all up together. But you can see how everything's becoming more and more squared off. The nose isn't rounded anymore, it's more squared. and that becomes more squared. Notice that one's rounded though. So it's odd. It's doing some weird things, right? So I'm going to Control Z to get back to what it was. And what you need to do is make sure you have this panel that's called the Transform panel. If you don't see it, go up here to your window, come down, make sure that Transform is on. So I just took it off so you can see how I can make it appear and disappear. Now, I had to Google this. I had to figure out what was going on, and this is the solution I found. Is to click on Scale Corners, okay? So go to your Transform, click on Scale Corners. Now, when I hold the Shift key and I click on this corner, then when I drag and increase the scale of it, it stays true to the way it was, okay? Now, this is where this bar just gets in my way, right? Let's go down here and cut that thing off. Okay. So zoom out a little bit. So we got an 8.5 by 11 artboard, and now I can center this up right in the middle, scale it up some more if I think it needs it, to kind of fill up the space a little bit, to where I want it to really kind of fit the format. Imagine this is a printed page, right? Like a printer sheet. That's essentially what this 8.5 by 11 represents. A piece of copy paper, essentially. So if I kind of center this up, kind of give it some even margins on each side. I can even use my little arrow keys a little bit. If I'm using my right arrow key, my left arrow key, just to dial it in, up or down. And that's in the arrow keys. It's under on the right hand side under your shift. And then once I feel comfortable about it, I can deselect it, and there it is. Okay. Now there's one more important thing to save this and make it work. So if I go to File, now I want to go to Export As. This is very important. You see this? You may have not ever noticed this before, but this is important. We got to use artboards. Okay. That way, then when we go to save this, it won't crop up to the edge. Okay. Otherwise, it would crop up to the edge still, right? So make sure that you say use artboards. Now we can give this a title. Printable. And now export. And say, okay. Now let me go show you the results. There it is. Notice in the thumbnail, it's not cropped up to the edges. Now we have a printable version with nice margins and very displayable. Okay? Make sure you do that before you turn it into Canvas. Thank you.